Assignment 5 asks for two separate deliverables, a risk assessment guide, and then the implementation of that risk assessment guide on your risk register. So here's my risk assessment guide sample. I just discussed the project scope very briefly, just to remind the reader what our project is and what we're trying to do. In this case, we're transferring process manufacture from one facility to another. My high-level risk quantification and schedule that the project end date is later than June 30th, which is a key success criteria. And the second is scope, that full product compliance and approval by FDA is required, as well as workers hired and trained and able to manufacture a very specific set of units by that end date. Cost is not a risk at this point. The company will pull out whatever budget is required to deliver the project on time and deliver the full scope. Now, what's not listed and is inherent in that scope is quality. That the molecules themselves that are being manufactured need to be of a certain quality, which we don't fully discuss. And one could make the argument, well, maybe we should. Maybe so, but right now our focus is going to be schedule and scope. So from a quantification standpoint, I'm going to schedule or rank impact based upon schedule and scope, my two biggest issues. A schedule risk is a minor setback which delays the project less than a day, is of the lowest impact. One that has a cumulative delay on critical path more than 3 weeks will be the highest impact. From a scope perspective, minor impact to unit count of 500 units or less is the lowest impact. The highest is when it's greater than 1,500. Both of those quantifications relate back to my success criteria here, or my primary risk factors. So I go into a probability impact. If we compare, and I'm going to open up my spreadsheet. Here's my risk register. Notice my 5 risks. The air filtration system, the plant power system, early delivery of molecule X, I'm going to come back to that, local workers who do not have adequate background, and late delivery of specialized machinery, or getting the machinery required. So these are our 5 basic risks. Those compared to our risks here: the air filtration system, the manufacturing line, early delivery, the assembly demands an experienced workforce, and specialized separation and tissue grafting machinery. Now, notice my impact scores. The early delivery one is an example of a positive risk. If we're able to deliver by, I forget if it's March or April, then for each week we are early, we are able to designate a charity that we can donate some monies to. So that's a positive risk. It's an example of where we want to exploit the opportunity to deliver early. So what I've done is I've broken out these risks into very specific buckets. The air filtration system, the power to run HVAC in the assembly machines, the experienced workforce, and the enzyme separation. I've gone further with the probability of occurrence. Probability is very high because the manufacturing facility was built out without recognizing the need for a clean room manufacture. We don't know, but we're going to assign a high level of probability that the manufacturing line will demand more power than is available, and a low probability to the background education experience in molecular biology because it's in North Carolina. That area of North Carolina is the Golden Triangle. There's 3 universities turning out, doing a lot of engineering. We believe that we will have appropriate resources. And finally, specialized enzyme and separation machinery. Again, the probability is low. We've got a long relationship with this vendor, so we're ranking that probability low. Now we're describing how the risk will be ranked and what we'll do with that combined rating. So here we go, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, and if I compare this to my 3, 3, 3, 1, 1's probability, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Is that what I had here? Probability 3, 3, 3, 1, 1. Probability 3, 3, 3, 1, 1. And impact 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. This should have been a 1. So I made a mistake there. Let me correct that. And that affects my combined rating now. So now I've put my ratings in and I can rank my risks. These are the two risks that are most important for me to clear up before they turn into issues. And so my strategy here is very active. I'm going to avoid. By avoid, that means we are modifying scope of the project. We're changing the project to do something to avert the danger of this risk becoming an issue. We're going to increase the budget, and we're going to add 2 weeks to schedule for installation. And in our project schedule, we also add a trip out to the manufacturing facility by the project team to investigate the air filtration system. Same thing for the power. We're going to avoid. We added additional tasks for improvements. We're also going to increase the budget, add 2 weeks to the schedule to allow company time to expand power line. And I probably should also have written in here, because these as written are not truly avoid contingency responses. Team will travel to plant to investigate HVAC system. That's what makes it avoidance. That the team is doing something very active, modifying the scope, because that was not originally in the scope of the project, to investigate the HVAC and investigate the power. On this positive risk, we're going to exploit. We're going to perform more scheduling in parallel to reduce the overall project duration, and we're going to accept on-time delivery. Now, on the local workers, the impact is medium, but the likelihood's low. So our overall score, we're going to accept. We're not going to do anything. It's a very passive response. And the late delivery of specialized machinery, we are going to transfer. So as part of the machinery procurement contract, we will schedule management by the vendor along with late penalties. So we will adjust so contingency response is incorrect. We will adjust schedule to assign ownership to BioLogic. That doesn't mean we ignore what BioLogic is doing. We also will demand weekly reviews with vendor and updates on milestone achievement. During the procurement process, I'm going to be working as the PM with BioLogic to ensure they have a complete schedule, they're very detailed, very organized in their delivery, and that they're able to deliver to meet our needs. Okay, a couple of points here. Active versus passive. This is very passive. These are very active tasks or active strategies. This is an active strategy. I could do a mitigate. If all I chose to do on this risk was increase the budget, then that's a mitigate strategy. It's a rather passive. I'm just adding a bunch of money. or I could be adding a bunch of time. Doing something where I'm modifying the scope or modifying the project schedule is really what an avoid response is. Okay, hope that helps you, and we'll be talking later.